Mounce, BBG, chapter 20, sentence 5. This is a verse that I hope every one of you knows, and a powerful verse. And this is also one that when you get through it, I hope you find yourself saying, man, I actually was able to translate that. This is cool. When you get to this point, this is really cool. I hope you'll feel that way like I would. All right. He gives you this first verb, she will bear, and day again being either but or and, but when it's at the front of something like this, I would encourage you to just think and, unless you see for some reason or know enough of the context to think otherwise. I would just go with and. So, and she will bear, and then huion, indefinite, so a son, and you've got the new to tell you that it's accusative, and it's the direct object there as a result, and then you've got this verb here that hopefully you recognize that ending, and you say, well, okay, that's a second singular ending. And if you recognize this verb, you'll recognize it as kaleo, and as soon as you hear it, you should hear that that's a contract verb, right? But then you see the sigma, and as soon as you see the sigma, then you know that it's future. So it is a contract verb that is in the second person singular future form. So it's you will call, and then you will call what? The name of him, or his name, and then of course Jesus. So this sentence again, and she will bear a son, and you will call his name Jesus. And then the next clause, for, there's your post-positive gar, just like day often is, just like it was up here. Gar is another one that's post-positive, so you're going to yank that out, pull it to the front of the sentence, and say for, and then you have your subject, he, right, because nominative singular masculine. And then you have your verb here, sose. Hopefully you recognize that coming from sozo. So sozo, and then you see the a, which is a third singular ending, but that goes with he. So that's what you'd be expecting, right? Neat thing about that is he will save, and you may remember that if you use a personal pronoun as a subject, it's usually for emphasis. And I would certainly say that's the case here. Who's going to save? It's he will save. He will save. This Jesus that we're talking about. He will save. All right. So again, that sigma, the zeta changing to a sigma here gives you that hint that this is future. All right. He will save. And then you have these news that should tell you that you're dealing with a direct object again. Hopefully you recognize laas is the people. And then autu is a possessive, so his people, or the people of him, right? So for he will save his people, and then you have this prepositional phrase that is on at the end in this case, and apo, away from or from, and then you have these genitives, this genitive plural chain, but here in this particular case, it is possessive, and that's kind of what you'd expect with coming from autos, that it would be using it as a possessive. But here we have ton hamartion following apo. Well, apo can take the genitive, right? So from the sins of them. All right. So from the sins of them. And again, exam question would be, why is ton hamartion in the genitive? And if I were to ask you why ton hamartion is in the genitive, the incorrect answer is that it has something to do with possession. The correct answer is that it is the object of the preposition apo, which may take the genitive. Okay, so running back one more time, and she will bear a son, and you will call the name of him, or his name, Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins.